All right, today we are diving deep into something really fascinating. It's a science-backed protocol that's all about rejuvenating one of our most important and honestly most overlooked organs, our lungs. We're going to explore how you can actually fight back against cellular aging and get their youthful function back. So let me start with a pretty startling question. Are your lungs aging twice as fast as you are? I mean, think about it. That feeling of being tired all the time or getting winded just walking up the stairs. So many of us just write it off, Oh, I'm just getting older. But what if it's really a sign that your lungs, your body's oxygen engine, are aging at a seriously accelerated rate? Well, it turns out this isn't some big mystery. Science has actually pinpointed an invisible thief that's stealing our energy from the inside out. They're called senescent cells, but you probably know them by their much cooler name, zombie cells, and they're literally setting up camp deep inside your lung tissue. Okay, so let's get into the science of this. To really understand how to fight back, we have to unmask this thief. We need to see what's actually going on at the cellular level that's making our lungs lose their power. So, you know the little plastic tips on the end of your shoelaces? That's kind of what telomeres are like. There are these protective caps for our DNA, and every single time a cell divides, those telomeres get just a tiny bit shorter. It's like a biological fuse, burning down bit by bit, and eventually they get so short that the cell just can't divide safely anymore. So what happens when that fuse finally runs out? Well, the cell enters this state called senescence. It basically retires. But here's the problem. They are not peaceful retirees. They stop doing their jobs, but they stubbornly refuse to die off. And that's when they become these zombie cells, just hanging around in our tissues, causing a ton of trouble. And wow, the difference is night and day. A healthy young cell, it just does its thing, divides normally, performs its function. But a zombie cell, it stops dividing and instead starts spewing out this toxic soup of inflammatory chemicals. Scientists call them SASPs. The real issue is, as we get older, our immune system just can't clear these zombies out fast enough, so they start to pile up, especially in our lungs. And these SASPs, they're the real troublemakers. They create this constant low-level inflammation. They make our delicate lung tissue stiffen up. That's a process called fibrosis. And they damage all the healthy cells around them. It's kind of like having a rusty spring. The lungs lose all their bounce, they get stiff and inefficient. So the big question is, how in the world do we clear out this rust? Well, that brings us to the good part, the solution. And the great news is that our bodies actually have this powerful built-in defense mechanism, a sort of cellular cleanup crew that we can activate to fight these zombie cells and build back our defenses. And that process is called autophagy. It literally means self-eating. I want you to think of it like your body's own intelligent housekeeping service. It goes around, it finds all the old, damaged, and toxic stuff, and yes, that includes entire zombie cells, and it recycles them. It's an incredibly powerful system that we can actually learn to switch on. And this is exactly how we do it. This 5-step protocol is basically a cellular shield. It's a set of daily habits that are designed to systematically trigger that autophagy, clear out the zombie cells, and totally rejuvenate our lungs from the inside out. So, let's get right into the execution guide. I'm going to walk you through each of these 5 powerful habits step by step so you know exactly how you can start putting them into practice, maybe even today. First up is a super simple but really profound breathing technique. Pursed-lip breathing works by creating this gentle back pressure in your airways, and what that does is it keeps them open just a little bit longer, which helps you push out all that stale, trapped air. And crucially, it helps clear out those senescent cells from the deepest parts of your lungs where they love to hang out. So here's how you do it. It's so easy. Just breathe in gently through your nose for a count of 2. Then purse your lips almost like you're about to whistle or blow out a candle, and then just exhale slowly for a count of 4. That 1-to-2 ratio, the inhale to exhale, that's the key. Just 10 of these every morning can make a huge, huge difference. Okay, habit number 2 is all about using food as medicine. Deep inside our cells, we have this master genetic switch called the NRF2 pathway. And when you flip this switch on, you unleash a flood of your body's own amazing antioxidant and anti-inflammatory powers. And it turns out there's a specific compound in certain vegetables that is the key to flipping that switch. That magic compound is called sulforaphane, and the most potent source on the entire planet is broccoli sprouts. It's amazing. It works by protecting your lung cells from all that stress and inflammation that the zombie cells are kicking out. Now, here's a pro tip you've got to remember. To get the most bang for your buck, you have to activate this key enzyme. You can do it super easily just by chewing the sprouts really well or by chopping them up about 40 minutes before you cook them. All right, next up, we're going to use a little bit of controlled stress to our advantage. When you expose your body to high heat, like in a sauna, it triggers the release of something called heat shock proteins, or HSPs. I want you to think of these guys as your cellular repair crew. They literally rush in to fix damaged proteins, clean up all the cellular junk, and they are a powerful trigger for autophagy. And notice how specific this is. The research really points to a particular protocol for the best results. That's 15 to 20 minutes in a high heat sauna about 3 times a week. This creates something called hormetic stress, which is a good kind of stress that actually forces your cells to get stronger and more resilient. And that little bonus tip, a 30-second cold rinse at the end can boost the effect even more. Habit 4 is all about getting the foundational support right. Magnesium is basically nature's muscle relaxant. It helps to gently open up your airways. And then you've got the power couple, vitamin D3 and K2. They work together to tame that chronic inflammation that the zombie cells are creating. These nutrients just make sure your whole lung environment is calm and working the way it should be. And finally, we have to protect our lungs while we're sleeping. I mean, that's an 8-hour window for repair and regeneration that we just can't afford to waste. Sleeping on your left side can actually improve lymphatic drainage and reduce pressure on your lungs. And using a HEPA filter in your bedroom, that drastically cuts down on the gunk your lungs' immune cells have to fight off all night, which frees them up to focus on that important cellular cleanup. So, as we start to wrap this up, the main message here becomes incredibly clear. This is all about empowerment. It's about you taking back control over the way your body actually ages. This quote, it really says it all, doesn't it? We can't stop the clock from ticking, but the science is showing us that the speed at which our bodies decline, well, that's not set in stone. These daily habits give us direct control over our health span and our vitality. So that's really the big takeaway here. We've unmasked that invisible thief of aging, those pesky zombie cells. And now we have a powerful 5-step shield to fight back. You have the science, you have the protocol. The power to build your cellular shield is literally in your hands. So the final question is really for you. Look, you don't have to do all of this at once. Just pick one. Which of these 5 habits are you going to commit to starting today? Because that one small step, that's the beginning of your whole journey to rebuilding your lungs.